Good day, gamers. Fortane here, and welcome to episode 22 of Minecraft: The Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can hear it outside on my microphone, but it is currently quite stormy outside. So apologies if you get a little extra, immersive rain sounds. It was raining just a little while ago in-game as I was setting up for recording. But then it stopped for the moment, and now it's raining very loudly outside. So apologies if you get some kind of rain sound in the background as I'm recording this. But hello, everyone. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. On today's episode of Escaping the Betweenlands, we are going to continue brewing out a lot more of the ground aspect items that I've been collecting. You've seen me collect a ton of this stuff on camera. I've been collecting more of it off camera, grinding it up, just to make sure I have a bunch of stuff already prepared and ready to go for you. That way there's less time spent waiting for, something to happen while we do other things. I also need to be brewing out some more aspects to get some of the ones that I don't have much of at the moment. I've got our full aspect bottles here, our partials right here, and there's still, like I said, a good few that I need to brew out for the first time. Today's goal is to try and get to making a night vision potion. As we've seen, the Betweenlands can be very dark, especially if I'm going to be exploring some of the dungeons and stuff later on. I want to make sure that I have a very good way to be able to see in the dungeons when it gets very dark or very red outside. If I can also get to making like regen potions or saturation potions to restore my hunger, or even the restoring my decay bar, I will get to that eventually. But today's goal is to get to the night vision potion. I do have 3 of the ingredients so far for the night vision potion: Deunis, Freywin, and Ordonis, though I don't have much. I have not discovered anything yet for the Geolyrgas aspect, so we're going to be doing that as part of the gecko testing. But first, we're going to set up some stuff to brew out into aspects while we're doing the gecko testing, and we'll see how far we get. So to begin with, I'm going to go ahead and place my life crystal here on the infuser so that I can stir it when it needs. The first ingredient that I'm going to brew out right now is going to be a bunch of ground fragmites, because that has a healthy amount of Ordonis in it. We'll be able to get some Ordonis going, because I have very little at the moment. So let's go ahead and grab our 3 buckets of swamp water. Add those into the infuser. It's kind of too bad in a way that you're not required to use clean water in the infuser. I'd almost like it to be able, I'd almost like it to like require using clean water to like make the potions. I'm not gonna tell the mod author to change it or anything by any stretch, but I don't know. For me, it's like with all of the focus on getting clean water to make the teas, and then to have the infuser still using, regular old, not as stinky stagnant water, but kind of maybe stinky swamp water instead of clean water to make the potions. I don't know. I just feel like it would be a better mechanic to use clean water in it. Like if you have to use clean water, or maybe using clean water gets you more potions or better potions or something. I don't know. It's just me. The brew itself is bubbling now, as seen by the green smoke. The life crystal is giving it a stir. We're gonna wait for it to get purple. Do just a second. There we go. All right, we have our aspect infusion buckets here. Infusion time 0, and we've got Azwin, Selawin, and Ordonis. Quite a lot of Ordonis, which is nice. Go ahead and bucket all of these into the alembics. Let that percolate away while we do some gecko testing. So last we left off with the gecko testing, we were at the ground marshmallow, which I had like 1 or 2 pieces of previously. Now I have a bunch. I went ahead, grabbed some more, and yeah, we're going to continue with the gecko testing here, see what we get from the ground marshmallow. Let's see, chewing furiously on the tail. Belly rumbling. Okay, so we've gotten those ingredients a few times. That's just Selawin and Biaris. So that's the last of that. Take a look, and yeah. Marshmallow. So the marshmallow is going to be going right here after the marsh hibiscus. Making pretty good progress here. We got a few blank spots that we'll have to fill later on with stuff from the sludgeon, but that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Let's see. We need pitcher plant, poison ivy, and roots, which we have. We got some pitcher plant. We got some poison ivy, and then... Did I not grind the roots? I thought I ground roots. I apologize. I thought I ground some roots already. How dare. Well, I have plenty of roots. We'll just go ahead and take the life crystal off here for the second. We'll grind up some tangled roots to get ground roots, and we'll continue on. But in any event, we have our pitcher plant here, so we'll go ahead and test that. Oh, just one thing for pitcher plant. Empty look in its eyes and doesn't seem to respond to anything. Interesting. Well, there's our Duralirigos, the Void. So we're definitely going to need a lot more ground pitcher plant to be able to brew that out. Let's see, that's pitcher plant is going to go after the pickerel weeds, which is right there. Good to know. How much pitcher plants do I have? Oh, I have the tangled roots here. I just didn't actually that's fine. I only have 1 pitcher plant. Okay. I hope I find something else with Geolirigos. I'm sure we'll find at least a few things. Let's do our poison ivy. Chewing on the tail, belly rumbling, and scales glowing. So that is Ordonis, Selawin, and Biaris. Again, very usual to be finding that stuff. Alright, that's going to go right after the pitcher plant. Plant, poison ivy. Go ahead and grab our ground roots. And we'll test that. Again, apologies if you hear the rain in the background. You shouldn't too much, but in case we happen to get a thunder rumble or something, just letting you know. Let's see, muscles twitching. Chewing on the tail. Oh. And healthier gecko. It's bursting with energy. So, Yeawin, Azwin, and once again, Biaris. Lots of things have Biaris in it. That corruption is quite extensive here in the Betweenlands. But let's grab another gecko. Pop gecko into the cage. And we'll take a look at the next aspects we need to do. Rot bulb, shoots, and sludge creep. The rot bulb is going to be in the sludgeon. But we do have shoots. We do have sludge creep, because sludge creep is found just out in the kind of sludgy plains area where we fought the slimes a few times. So we'll have to wait on that, but that's okay. Soft rush and string roots. I think once again the string rush... I think the string roots are once again something that we have to wait for, because I think those are in the sludgeon, but I'll double check. And our Olympics are done. Very nice. So let's go ahead and grab the stuff from the alembics, and then we'll make the next brewing continue on. Okay, 3 bottles, 3 bottles, and 3 bottles. Perfect. Okay, so we've got Azuin, Selwyn, and Ordonis. Let's go ahead and combine all of the Azuin. Do I have any partials? Yes, I have some partials of Azuin. So I'll go ahead and start combining that all up. There we go. Empty bottle. Perfect. We have our first 5.0 bottle of Azuin. Very nice. And then we got these other 2 partials. There we go. All right, so a 5.0 of Azuin and a 1.45 of Azuin. Go ahead and put away this. And then put away the partial of Azuin. Next up, we got Selwyn, which I think we have... Yeah, we have a 5.0 of Selwyn, and we have a partial of Selwyn. So let's go ahead and combine all these up. Again, just doing some of these first-time ingredients on camera. Later on, I will just be combining all this stuff off camera. Just getting all the brews done as much as I can ahead of time. But for the things that I have not done yet, I will need to do it on camera. Okay. So we have a 5.0 of Selwyn and then a 0.25 of Selwyn. That's fine. So we have a second Selwyn bottle. Very nice. And then our partial Selwyn bottle. Then we last have Ordonis. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and combine all this. Now I know I had a bit of Ordonis already. I just wanted to get more, a bit more as part of this. Go 5.0 of Ordonis. I wanted to get a bit more before I started brewing today. There we go. So we have a 5.0 of Ordonis and a 1.9 of Ordonis. Ordonis is going to go right here for now. And then here's our partial Ordonis. That one is done. Let's see. We are going to need some Dayunis. We don't have any Dayunis at the moment. The easiest way to get some Dayunis is going to be with some ground deep water coral. So let's go ahead and get that going. Then we'll continue with our gecko testing. There we go. Bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3. Give it a stir. We don't need to stir it at this point. I just like giving it a stir to start it up. Put the life crystal in. We're going to get our 6 pinches of deep water coral. Give that a stir. Once it turns purple, we'll go ahead and put it in the alembic and continue on. I guess we can go ahead and test the shoots while we wait, because this does take a second. So, ground shoots. Belly rumbling. Oh, that gecko's gone. Glowing slightly. And healthier gecko, bursting with energy. So again, Ordonis, Yeowyn, and Selwyn. Got it. Let's see. This is going to go, so roots, rot bulb, and shoots. So roots, rot bulb, and shoots. Skipping a spot for rot bulb. Okay, the brew is now green, which means it's at temperature. Give it a moment or so more. Till it turns purple. Continue on. Another stir. There's our purple smoke, which means the aspects are done brewing out. 1, 2, and 3. We've got lots of Dayunis. So this will be all the day units we're gonna need for probably a while. Okay, continuing on. Next one is, again, we have to skip the sludge creep for the moment. Oh, no, excuse me. No, we have the sludge creep. It's right here. It was the rot bulbs. But we do need another gecko. Grab another gecko for the cage. Bloop. Go ahead and grab our life crystal back for the moment. Okay, sludge creep. Muscles twitching. Chewing on its tail. And healthier. Yeowin, Azuin, and Byaris. Again, very common ingredients. So let's see. This goes right after the shoots. Right here. And now we got Soft Rush. It's nice that so many things have common things. I just kind of wish so many things didn't. Because you just get those, you know, those very common aspects so often. It's like, I have like, what, 10 different things that have pretty much those combinations. So I really have my choice of basic stuff. Here you go. Okay. Testing the Soft Rush. Chewing on its tail. Glowing slightly. And healthier gecko. So once again, Ordanis, Yeowin, Byaris. Alright. To continue on. Let's see. So Soft Rush. Go right after the Sludge Creep. String Roots, Sundew, and Swamp Kelp. I don't have any String Roots at the moment. I do have the Sundew, Swamp Kelp, and then Swamp Tallgrass is going to be one of the next things. Yeah, as we can see, Sundew, Swamp Kelp, and then Swamp Tallgrass. So let's go ahead and do the Sundew. The gecko scales become puffy and its head looks different. It's got like a little weird red crest on it now. That's odd. Oh, that was the one? Oh. Oh yeah, the gecko scales became... Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that it had a second one. I was looking at the gecko itself. Okay, cool. So this has a Yaihinren or Yihinren form. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. So String Roots and then Sundew. String Roots, Sundew. So we're going to be using the next chest here. But that's okay. That's why I have two of them. Swamp Kelp is next. Belly Rumbling. Glowing Slightly. And Healthier Gecko. Yep. Ordanis, Yeowin, and Selwyn. Okay. Let's see. Yep, Swamp Kelp is gonna go. We already got that spot filled. Swamp Kelp is here. And we got Swamp Tallgrass. Oh, our aspects are done. Nice. Let's go ahead and get this stuff. One bottle, and one bottle. Okay. So we have 3.24 of day units from all of that. Not bad. Again, that'll be enough day units to last for a good bit. Actually, no, I'm going to need more day units. For the night vision potion that I'm going to be making, day units is the duration ingredient, so I'm actually going to need a lot of Dayunis. So good to know. Let's see. So we got a first 5.0 Dayunis, and we've got a partial Dayunis. Let's go ahead and move these down. Furnalos, Fergalos. So Dayunis here. Let's go ahead and just move all these down the bench. Dayunis. All right. Knowing that, Dayunis. Black hat mushroom, bog bean, buttonbush, cave. Oh, excuse me, Dayunis. Crimson snail shell and deep water coral. Okay. We should have a nice amount of crimson snail shell. I don't have much deep water coral. I'll have to go collect some off camera. That's okay. Let's go ahead and make another brewing of the crimson snail shell to get more Dayunis. So we're going to do 2 and 3 buckets of swamp water. 1, 2, and 3. Give it a stir. Add the life crystal. Add our crimson snail shell. And give it another stir. Okay, put that back. I actually don't have any wind yet from the crimson snail shell, so that works. Unugaz. Oh no, I have excuse me. I have plenty of Unugaz. That's all right. We'll have more. It's all good. Cool. Okay. Gecko testing. Once this is done, brew that out, and then we'll get the Geolirgas. Let's see. Swamp tallgrass, thorns, and Venus flytrap. We have our swamp tallgrass, thorns, Venus flytrap head, and volar pad. Okay. Our brew is about done. Let's go ahead and wait for this to finish. Bubble, bubble, bubble. There we go. There's our purple. 1, 2, 3. Get our infusion buckets going. All right. Alembics are going. Back to gecko testing. We're going to be testing the swamp tallgrass now. Chewing on its tail. Belly rumbling. And healthier gecko. Yeowin, Selowin, and Byaris. Done. Let's see. It's going to be right after Swamp Kelp. Right here. Next up is going to be Thorns. There we go. Over to our geckos. Oh, we need another gecko. We're going to need another Timmy. Go. It is all sorts of foggy outside and all sorts of rumbly outside IRL. But that's okay. Testing the ground thorns. What do we got? Twitching uncontrollably, chewing on its tail, and belly rumbling. So, Selowin, Azowin, and Byaris. Put away the thorns. Next we have the Venus flytrap heads. We are almost done with all the testing. A few more things left to do. Sapspit's gonna have to wait a good while because to get Sapspit I need to go fight the spirit tree, and I'm not gonna be doing that for a little while. Not for a little while. But that's okay. So Venus flytrap head. Oh, yep, there's a little guy outside. That's all right. Empty look in its eyes and doesn't seem to respond to anything. Oh, and that's it. Cool. Oh, that's more geo. Perfect. That is actually really good because I'm going to need a lot of geo. Only found geo in, what, this is the second geo item. So yeah, that is awesome. What's the other one that had geo in it? Pitcher plant, which I don't have much of. So yeah, having tons of Venus flytraps, that makes it easy to get geo. Okay, that's what I'm going to be brewing out next. Understood. Awesome sauce. Okay, next thing, ground volar pad. Twitching uncontrollably and chewing on its tail. So Azuin and Byaris. Perfect. I am so glad that I found a second thing that has geo in it and something that is very easy to get. Okay. Volar pad goes right next to the Venus flytrap. Awesome. What do we got left? So water weeds and weedwood bark. So we have water weeds. I do need to grind some weedwood bark. Let's see, ground weedwood bark. I can do the dry bark, or I can do pretty much any of the logs. Well, I don't have any ground up at the moment. Apologies. Do I not have any of the bark at the moment? I thought I had some bark. Or did I put it... I put it here because I'm like, well, I'm not going to be using much for mate paper, so that's why. That's okay. Okay. Grab our life crystal. How's the mortar and pestle doing? 63 more uses. Do I have... No, I'll wait to not exactly repair that, but I'll wait to combine that up in a bit. Let's see. Let's do 10. Plenty of durability between the two. Okay. But yeah, I knew I had dry bark. I just put it in a different spot. Before I had it in ores and organics because I was only using it to make the amate paper. But now that I'm going to also need it for aspect stuff, I put it in the aspect plant chest. Okay. Our limbics are done. Let's go ahead and grab the bottles from there. 2 bottles, 2 bottles, and 2 bottles. Perfect. So, Deunis and a whole bunch of Unigas. So let me grab my partial bottle of Deunis. Put that down. Go ahead and fill that up. Okay, so there's my full bottle of Deunis. And I'll take my 2 partials. All right. So now that is going to be what? 2 full bottles of Deunis, 5.0, and then a partial of 4.58. Let me brew out some Geolyrgos with the with the Venus flytrap heads, and then I'll brew out some more Deunis because I'm going to need 3 bottles of 5.0 duration. So let's go ahead and get that going. We'll grab our life crystal. There's our weedwood bark. I'll combine this Unigaz in just a second. So, buckets. 1 bucket, 2 buckets, 3 buckets. Into the infuser, the swampy water goes. Give that a stir. Ooh, excuse me. Life crystal, and then the ground Venus flytrap heads. Boop, 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 boop. 1 more stir. Okay. We'll go ahead and combine all the Unigaz together while we wait for this to brew out. I'm probably not going to be using a whole bunch of Unigaz for much of anything, or at the very least until I really start getting invested into the potions. But at least I'll have some already made up. The main problem is simply going to be finding something that has like a bunch of day units to it that doesn't have a bunch of something that I already have a ton of. That will be what doing the Aspectrus fruits will be for, is just brewing out one specific ingredient, but I am not at that point yet, unfortunately. So here's our 5.0 of Unigauze. Here's our partial 3.09 of Unigauze. This is about to turn purple. Yeah, so brewing the ground items into aspect vials is the main way that you get these aspects. No doubt about that. The other, more concentrated way of getting them is by brewing the aspects into Aspectrus fruits. That way you get a ton of just fruits that have just that aspect in it. But that does require some materials that I don't have access to yet. I could go get them, but I don't have access to them yet. So we'll get there. That is part of showing off all the things that you can do in this mod. Okay, back to gecko testing as we go here. We are at the water weeds. Let's test our water weeds. We've got muscles twitching, belly rumbling, and healthier gecko. So once again, Yeowin, Selowin, and Azuin. Okay. Put that right next to the ground volar pad. And now we got to test our weedwood bark, which is honestly pretty easy to get. Oh, still recovering. Okay, we'll hold here for a second. Let the geckos finish. Again, I understand the fact of, yeah, we're going to test this stuff on the geckos. I would not mind having a Skyrim-esque testing on your own character where you like eat one of the ingredients to learn its effect. I think that would be better than testing on the geckos, but it's okay. All right, twitching, chewing on its tail, and belly rumbling. So Selowin, Azuin, and Byaris. So many things with those ingredients. All right. So let's take a look at the things we are missing in terms of what we can get access to for the second. Cryptweed, Edge Leaf, and Edge Moss, once again, are in the Sludgeon. Go. Edge Shroom is also in the Sludgeon. Pale Grass. Yeah, that's going to be in the Sludgeon as well. Rot Bulb is in the Sludgeon, and I'm pretty sure String Roots is in the Sludgeon. Yes, they are in the Sludgeon as well. Okay. Edge Shroom, let's see. Yeah, Pale Grass, Rot Bulb, String Roots. Okay, so we have absolutely everything that we can do beyond what is in the Sludgeon and what is required by fighting the Spirit Tree, which is the sap spit. Okay. So we have done all the gecko testing we can possibly do for right now. So we don't have to worry about that. And in fact, since we're not going to be heading to the Sludgeon for a while, I can go ahead and we'll just recapture these little geckos. Pop open the cages. So, boink. Gotcha. Boink. Gotcha. Boink. Gotcha. Alrighty. Geckos can go back into this chest here. We shall put away the gecko cages for now. Alright. The Alembics are going. Let's go ahead while the Olympics are going and do a little bit of farming, because we have some stuff that we can do with the farming. So farming's a little different here in Betweenlands, just like many things are. Oh, the Olympics just finished. I will get right back to that. 1 second. Let's get our stuff from the vials. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Ooh, wow. That gives a whole lot of Geolyrgos. 4.66. Okay, so yeah, we're going to definitely have 2 full bottles of Geo from this. That is awesome. Cool. So there's our 2 full bottles of Geo and our partial of Geo. That's going to last us, honestly, that's going to last us a very long time. I don't need to use much Geo for anything. At least at the point where I'm currently brewing. So Fergalas, Freywind, Geo, Ordanis. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. Okay. So we need to prepare for making the night vision potion, which again is going to be the goal for today. I need 1 more bottle of Deunis. I've got a 4.58. What else has Deunis that we don't already have a ton of? Deunis. We only have 2 things that have Deunis, regretfully. That is ground crimson snail shell and ground deep water coral. Okay, that's all right. We're just gonna have more wind. We have plenty of wind already, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3 weedwood buckets of swamp water. 1, 2, 3 into the infuser. Give it a stir. And then we'll put our 6 crimson snail shell in here. Give it another stir. So while we're waiting on this, farming is a little different, obviously, here in the Betweenlands. Instead of just right-clicking dirt with a shovel and making farmland, you actually create like a little hole of compost in dirt by right-clicking the dirt with a shovel. You place the compost into there, and then you have other dug holes with compost in them that the plants will then grow out to. So you basically direct your farmland by these little patches of compost and compost and dirt. You can do it 2 ways. You can just do regular swamp dirt, and that will just grow regularly, but it does have a chance of decaying after a while. If a plant decays while it's trying to grow in there, you'll just get the seed. You won't actually get what you're supposed to. It can also ruin the plant. Boop, boop, boop. It can also ruin the plant if it's just like an aspect plant. Okay, that's brewing out. So what you want to do is you want to... Yes, exactly. You want to purify the dirt first. Let's just take... let's take 9 pieces of swamp dirt. You purify the swamp dirt in the purifier, and that gets you purified swamp dirt, which is, I believe, pretty much immune to decay. Now, if you have a ton of stuff around it, it may still be able to decay. I haven't had it decay in a very long while, so we'll give this a test. You can also use the ground dried swamp reed as basically bone meal to help the plants grow faster. Let's see. I'm going to have... Let's have the farm area be right here. We'll just make a little spot. Just dig up a little 3x3 here. I have not finished creating all the lighting that I'm going to do here. I still got a little bit of stuff to kind of change around, but for now, I've just got these little candles here to provide a little extra light, make it easier to see. Okay. Put that away. We are going to take our dirt that is currently being purified. There we go. Go ahead and place it down. So we have our purified swamp dirt, which as you can see looks a little different than just regular swamp dirt. We can go outside real quick and you'll be able to see just regular swamp dirt. Now you can have the grass, like the swamp grass, grow on top of the purified swamp dirt. And I believe that gives a buff to the speed of stuff growing. But that's going to mostly require a... Yes. Just listening to the shallow breath. But that's mostly going to require a silk touch shovel, which I don't have silk touch yet because I don't have access to enchanting at the moment. Let's put that away. So mostly we're just going to be using just the dirt itself. So we're going to take here we go. Got plenty of compost. I've just been making compost out of like different organic stuff that I have a ton of as I've been working on other things. Just set it up in the composter, let it go. But you right click with the shovel, makes dug purified swamp dirt. You take the compost, put it in there, and now we have the advancement pure and dirty. There we go. So this essentially creates a compost planter that you can grow stuff into. We'll go ahead and get the rest of this swamp dirt. Now the compost itself lasts for 3 growings. Boop, 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 boop. So you can grow 3 plants per piece of compost. One after you harvest the 3rd one, the dug purified swamp dirt, the compost will disappear out of the hole, and you'll just have to put more compost in there. That's all. So we've got ourselves a nice little planter here, full of compost. Alembics are done, so we'll get that in just a second. Now what we can do, let's take, let's see. The pitcher plants were something that I don't have much of. What's something that I don't have a ton of? Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's do this as a test. We've got some spores. Those are from the little mushroom guys. And then we have some weeping blue petals. I do have some spectrus seeds, but I can't do anything with those yet. So we take our spores, plant them here. Now we have some growing spores. Let's check our advancements real quick, and we'll be able to see the one that we just got was quick and dirty. Let's see where you be. Still got to do that. There we go, farmer. Pure and dirty. Use purified swamp dirt for your farm. Dig up a worm while making holes for crops, and then compost. Oh, apparently you can get the sludge worms by just digging holes. Didn't realize that. I've not gotten any yet, but then again, this is the first time I've dug a hole, so I guess that makes sense. We'll keep an eye out for that. Gotcha. Fair enough. So we take our ground dried swamp breed, and we can use this, and it works like bone meal, as you can see. And once we get this rather interesting looking mushroom all the way up, We can then go boop. And we have sporadically radical. There's our yellow dotted fungus, which we can do for a few things. We can make a mire scramble for some very good food. We can compost it. We can also make a brew called witch tea. And then we get some spores back. So boop, 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 boop. There we go. Got ourselves a second mushroom. How much of the... Yes, I have more ground dried swamp reed. Let's go ahead and show off the mechanic of the dug hole emptying out. So we'll go ahead and there we go. Boop. Just like that. So after 3 growings, we're going to need to put more compost in there, which is fine. So all we have to do is head over, grab some compost, and boop, there we go. So yeah, as you can see, the purified swamp dirt is now regular swamp dirt. Sometimes that happens after it empties out of the compost. It changes from purified swamp dirt to regular swamp dirt. Again, the only thing that you really have to be careful of is if this happens to make it to where the plants start decaying. You can make something that removes the decay, but just also make sure you're always planting in purified swamp dirt. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing with the weeping blue. We now have the advancement flower power, so we'll check that out real quick. So sporadically radical is grow and harvest yellow dotted fungi spores. Lively crops is let a sporling hatch from your crops. That one's going to be a little difficult because basically what has to happen is, if I remember correctly, you have to have a mushroom, a fully grown spore mushroom, full stage growth. Then it has to have decay that then animates it when it changes over, from regular dug swamp dirt into decayed swamp dirt. That then generates a sporling. I'll have to look into it because it is something I have to do. But it's one of those, it is kind of a process, so, but that's okay. But in any event, we have our weeping blue here. We then take our ground dried swamp reed and nope, can't use it. Okay, I thought you could bone meal this to try and make it grow faster, but apparently not. That's okay. But in any event, this weeping blue will eventually grow into one of these other planters. You can collect it with the shears, you can collect it with the scythe, and do all of the stuff that you can do with the weeping blue. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this away for right now. There is our yellow dotted fungus. Pear cordial. Let's put away our seeds and the compost, as well as the ground dried swamp reed. Oh, see, look, it's already grown. Nice. So you can take, one bit of weeping blue and it'll grow 2 more. You can do this with pretty much any of the aspect plants. You can do it with the nettles. You can do it with the mushrooms, like the black hat mushrooms, the white hat mushrooms, the bulb cap mushrooms. You can do it with all that. Oh, it grew again. Look at that. Nice. Cool. So it's just a way to get more of those plants without having to go farther and farther and farther out for them. Let's go ahead and grab our stuff from the alembics here. There we go. Those are emptied out. Again, we have Unigaz and Deunis. Let's go ahead and combine all of our Unigaz together. There we go. That's another full bottle of Unigaz. Boop. Combine these two together. Perfect. So we've got a 5.0 and a 3.76 of Unigauss. I'm just going to put this over here just to kind of keep it. Again, it's not something I'm going to use very often. But let's go ahead and combine our Deunis and hopefully make our night vision potion. There we go. Boop. Combine these bottles up of Deunis. Cool. All right. So we now have 3 full bottles of 5.0 Deunis and then a partial 4.46 of Deunis. Okay. Let me go ahead and collect our Weeping Blue here because I don't really need to be growing these much at the moment. I just wanted to kind of show that off. But I'll be able to, like I said, use this to grow out pretty much any plant that you can collect. You can grow it here. I will show it off from time to time. But yes, we should have all the ingredients we need to make our night vision potion. The life crystal it's getting a wee bit low. I'm gonna use this last white heart that I have to go ahead and bump up its durability a little bit. So if we take a look at our herb lore book, we have our aspects, ingredients, aspect info, and ingredient info. Delirigas, tier 3 aspect that has in pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. So the night vision potion consists of 4 parts: Deunis, Freywin, Delirigas, and Ordonis. 2 of the ingredients in here are not exactly Rumbly Bumble. I'm not speaking ill of the ingredients, Storm, I promise. 2 of the ingredients are not exactly useless, but they don't contribute much of anything beyond quantity to the potion. That is the Geolirigas and Ordonis. The Deunis for this particular potion, the Deunis controls the duration. The Freywin controls the strength. Not sure exactly how much strength is going to matter for a night vision potion, because I would assume it's just either you can see in the dark or you can't. The duration is going to be the one that you want to max out for this potion because, well, you want it to last as long as you can. So there's 2 parts of the math here. I'm going to go over the math. I may even at some point like make a little animatic or something for you all to see on screen, but you can also look this up in the wiki as to how this math works. So for every 6.0 of a strength or duration ingredient, the strength or duration increases by 1 level. Level 1 to level 5. So 6.0 duration gets you level 1 duration. 12.0 duration gets you level 2 duration, and so on. Now, as a reminder, you can only have 6 items in the infuser total, and especially for potions that have 4 different ingredients, like the night vision potion, you're not going to be able to max out pretty much anything. You're going to get a higher duration, you're going to get a higher strength, and then everything else is going to be just enough to get you to the next amount of potion. But within the duration level 1, level 2, level 3, there is a bit of wiggle room in the idea of the way I'm going to be brewing this potion. It's going to be a level 2 duration, but it's going to be a higher level 2 duration because the actual amount of time in duration is based on how much actual duration ingredient is in there. So you can have a level 2 duration that varies wildly, and then you hit the level 3 duration cutoff. Unfortunately, like I said, for this that has 4 ingredients, I'm not going to be able to hit level 2. With having 4 ingredients, I'm not going to be able to hit, I'm not going to be able to hit level 3 duration. With how many ingredients are required for the potion, I don't have enough space. I have physical space in the infuser. So every 6.0 of a strength of duration gets you 1 level of that strength of duration. Every 4.5 total aspects amongst all the aspects, all the ingredients that you have to use, every 4.5 gets you 1 potion, gets you 1 infusion. So no matter how many, no matter how many ingredients you use, no matter how much is in each of those aspect bottles, hello wormhole, hello other wormhole, we got 2 wormholes, what the hey. Every 4.5 aspect gets you 1 infusion. So really, you want to make sure that you're not using a ton more aspects than you need to keep everything divisible by 4.5. So like I could use 8.9 amount of aspects all told, and I still get like, let's see. Yeah, it's inclusive. So yeah, so up to 4.5 gets you 1. From 4.6 to 9 gets you 2. So 9.1 up to blah 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 gets you 3. So again, you just want to try and make sure you keep everything easily divisible by 4.5, just so you don't waste it. You know, I'm getting so close to having this 3rd potion, but you're just not there. So assuming this math works, assuming that I'm reading and calculating everything correct, we should be able to make 4 potions of high duration 2, strength 1, not strength the attack power strength, but like strength as in the potency 1 night vision potion. We'll see if this works. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping I did the math correctly. At the very least, we'll get some pretty good duration night vision potion, and we'll go from there. But that's the main thing I'm interested in. So again, 6 bottles total. We have our Deunis, which is the duration for this potion. So 1, 2, 3 bottles of Deunis. We are going to need a bottle of 1.0 Freywin. There we go. So we're going to go 7, 8, 9. There we go. 1.0 Freywin. We are going to need, put that away. We're going to need a 1.0 bottle of Geolyrigos. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. 1.0 bottle of Geolyrigos. And then last but not least, we're going to need a 1.0 bottle of Ordonis. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. All right, so math be mathin'. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, again, that's going to be 18, which is divisible by 4.5. I could put more Freywin, more Geolyrigos, and more Ordonis in here to get a higher number of potions, and I will probably do that later on. This is, again, kind of just a test to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. Also, with the, smaller amounts of some ingredients that I have access to right now, I definitively need to go out and get more materials. Or expand my farm greatly and grow my materials. Either way. So, let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Is it raining outside still? Yep. It is raining inside and outside. But that, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. 1, 2, and 3. We'll go ahead and give that a stir. Rumbly bumbles. Put our life crystal there. And then we'll start putting our ingredients in. Now we will get these bottles back. I'm not worried about that. And we have a ton of the green dentifrice crystal. So even if we don't get the bottles back, again, we are. But even if we didn't get them back, I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay. Everything's stirring. Everything's bubbling. Wait for this to go. Oh, stretch. Oh. I do have one or two small things that I'm probably going to do while we are waiting for this to finish brewing. I guess it's going to take a minute or two. And I also want to see what that night vision potion looks like. We're already kind of at the end of the episode, or at least, you know, close to time for the episode. But I want to get this done. That takes a stir. And obviously brewing an actual potion takes longer than just getting the aspects out of the ingredients. Bubble, bubble, bubble. It's turning colors. It's blue. It should let off another. There we go. All right, so we should be good now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so infusion time of 30 seconds. There's all of our ingredients. This, again, should give me... Oh, do you still have the bottles in here? Nope. Okay, I must have gotten all the bottles when I didn't see. I'll have to review, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got those bottles back when I bucketed it out. Maybe they just all came out at once. That's fine. Okay. That's going. It is very foggy out. Let's see. What would I like to work on? We don't need to really eat anything at the moment. We did get some... We did get some barnacle flesh. We can turn that into a couple things. Cook it for some cooked barnacle flesh. Smoke it for some smoked barnacle flesh. We can also make some sturdy stock and some lake broth. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead. I don't have any clean water, but that's easy to remedy. Just go ahead and make some clean water real quick. 1, 2. This one does not have a filter on it, does it? No, it does. Perfectly intact strainer. 1 and 2. Let us grab our silk bundles. And I guess because we did stuff slightly out of order, we'll go ahead and make one more silk bundle just to have it and to get the advancement, because we made the silk bundle before doing something else, which unfortunately made it to where we didn't get the advancements when we were supposed to. But that's okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make a silk bundle. Boop. Why? Interesting. Take a look at the advancements real quick. See if I'm missing anything else. Place a steeping pot. Craft a silk bundle and steep some tea. 2x remaining. Steep all brews. I will have to look into that to see what other. I thought it was simply because I didn't yeah, I thought it was because I didn't like I didn't put the steeping pot down first, but not a biggie. If it's something goofy, I'll take a look off camera to see what it is. Okay, but anyway, barnacle flesh. We have some barnacle flesh. We'll go ahead and make some brews with it, because why not? Let's see. Anadia, snail flesh, and arrow arum, which I should have plenty of arrow arum. I should have plenty of... snail flesh. And anadia meat. I have a little bit of that. Rumbly bumbles. So boop, 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 and boop. That's going to be that. Let's bucket out some clean water. There we go. We'll use our life crystal. Nope. Okay. Nope. And we'll give it a stir. Nope. It should be heated. Yeah. Just takes a moment. Grab some bowls. There's my empty bowls. It's a bubbling away. Takes a moment. Hey, my Olympics are done. Cool. All right. There we go. It's changing color. I was like, I haven't made a brew in a while just because I've been needing the, There we go. One. Oh, nope. Not done yet. Hey, there we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I haven't made any brews in a good while because I've been needing all my sulfur for other things because it takes, it takes purifying the dirty silk bundle. So, in any event, we have some sturdy stock. Let's see. Oh, I ate 2 by accident. So it looks like it restores about... Yeah, it restores about 2 drumsticks. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't really know if it's worth it. In terms of having to, Well, let's see. That's going to be a stack of 4 foods that doesn't have to worry about food sickness. That restores 2 saturations, so 2 full drumsticks. It takes 1 piece of sulfur to effectively make it because you have to clean the dirty silk bundle first, or you have to make another silk bundle. Either way, it's going to take 1 sulfur. So 1 sulfur, a stack of 4, each one restoring 2, so 8 saturation total, eating 4 times. Or I could just eat a smoked crab stick. And yes, I have to deal with the food sickness, but I don't know. It's one of the things that I'm still trying to debate as to whether or not the brews are worth it versus just making food. It's still an interesting concept. I'm not knocking that, but yeah, not quite sure. In any event, let's get our potions. All right. Interesting. I must not have let it brew long enough. I thought it changed color. Huh. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I just kind of accidentally watered down the ingredients. Yeah, because that's now 0.85 geolyrigos. That's 4.25. Oops. Yeah, that's a 5.0 and 5.0 of Deunis. There's a partial. Huh, interesting. I'm guessing maybe I didn't let it brew long enough. I thought I saw the color change that meant it was done, but I must have been mistaken. And there's my Freywinds. Well, combining it like this. So, I made a mistake. Oh well, not a big deal. This episode will be a little longer because I made a bit of a mistake. Oh well, not a biggie. I will say, good to know that if you do brew it out like that, you do not get as much ingredients back, which kind of sucks, but oh well. I will do some figuring out, some checking of stuff, and we'll make sure that we get it right next time. We'll actually start with brewing the potion next time. That's fine. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you for bearing with me as I derped up the potion this time, but oh well. I hope you have a good day and good game.